conference earlier this year in Northern Ireland, and there was a great presentation around TikTok, and I was seeing like I had one agency where we implemented TikTok last year or 2 years ago, and it grew exponentially as a service, and brands absolutely loved it. Super interesting service to add to an agency. TikTok, they came to or attended one of the conferences or supported one of the conferences that I did earlier this year. And as the final roundtable for 2023, what I wanted to do is bring them in to come and share some of the insights with some of the agencies in this group. So I think that's enough of an intro. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it over. And then I know that it's Kainat, right? Am I saying the name properly?
You are, yes. Hi.
Jesus, I am brilliant. I've been practicing all day. That's a lie. I haven't been practicing. I don't practice anything. I just freeball life. So I'm going to hand over to Kainat, who actually works directly with agencies. And really what I asked for the TikTok team is just to come in and showcase what are agencies doing that's working for them. How are TikTok selling directly to brands? What do agencies need to do when it comes to sales enablement? What trends are coming up? Of course, Cyber Monday around the corner. A lot of my performance marketing agencies are gearing up for a lot of budget going towards TikTok. So that's it. That's my intro. It's over to you.
Thank you, Rachel. Hi, everybody. I am Kainat Iqbal. I'm an agency partner manager with TikTok, and I work with agencies developing strategic partnerships with them, developing strategies on how to win on TikTok. So really, really happy to be here. A big part of my role is to obviously help agencies get as many clients on a TikTok as possible, but also to help them find success on the platform. When you work with an agency partner manager or an account manager, you do get access to exclusive beta opportunities, resources, tips and tricks that an outsider might not know of. So yeah, my role is really exciting. So that's a little bit about myself, but really excited to go over the agenda quickly here. But if you have any questions, feel free to stop me. Would love to answer any questions as we go along. So our main goal here is to help you build confidence when pitching TikTok ads to your clients and develop media plans. We will walk through some key data points of TikTok's influence in the industry, which includes ad creative solutions and optimization types, and also highlight ways you can maximize your client's success on the platform. Moving on, let's start off with why TikTok. So TikTok, as we know, Rachel, you did a really good intro there. Lots of advertisers are moving their budgets over TikTok, but even like as a user, I spend like increasingly large amounts of time on the platform because it's so entertaining, it's inspiring, it's educating. But thinking from the perspective of an advertiser and a brand, what makes TikTok a great opportunity? So on the next slide, we'll see that TikTok is definitely the new era of entertainment. It's this sound on audio first app that is really reinventing entertainment and streaming. Our very quintessential short form videos have changed the way that consumers consume content. And this fundamental shift of entertainment has allowed TikTok to capture active time and attention. So what I mean by this is that on average, TikTokers are spending a movie's worth of time watching content every single day. And they're 20% more likely to say that TikTok is more entertaining compared to other entertainment platforms, not just social media, which is really, really strong and powerful. And which is the basic reason why we're seeing that more and more brands and agencies are shifting their budgets into TikTok away from other entertainment services. On the next slide, you can see some stats which would show you why this makes complete sense. TikTok has reached over 1 billion global active monthly users, and this boils down to an unduplicated audience of 150 million monthly active users in the US alone. And by this we mean these are millions of users that are like net new audiences that you cannot reach through other social media platforms. So you're reaching unduplicated audiences on TikTok. And within these folks, there's so many communities and niches that your clients' products and services will fit right into. So we do recommend that you discover all the communities that are out there on TikTok, explore different arenas, and try to see how we can sort of like leverage some of that power, some of that engagement for our brands. On the next slide, some really interesting stats here. TikTok users, like I said, are very active on the platform. And a testament of this is the constant liking, sharing, and commenting that they're doing on SMB content. Sorry, was there a question? Okay. Yeah, and so it doesn't end with just followership. Like, you know, we know that a vast majority of users on TikTok say that they want to follow a brand. They're more likely to follow a brand, and they're also more likely to visit a store or a website. But it doesn't really end there. It does translate into actual actions and impact for your brand. 73% of TikTokers say that they're likely to buy something that they see on the platform, and 70% say that they're likely to download an app, which are like great stats from an advertiser point of view. So this also trickles down into the fact that TikTok users are purchasing products from SMBs on TikTok. And we want to help you and your agency become one of those SMBs on TikTok that people purchase gifts from this holiday season. And on the next slide, like, you know, this kind of shows how we can do that. And I think something that's really unique to TikTok is that this is where entertainment and commerce meets. So something that I always say to my agencies is, we're not here to make ads, we're here to make TikToks, because entertainment is like the #1 priority of our users, of our communities, and just like, you know, us as a platform. So that's why we say that this is where entertainment meets commerce. And this is cultivated by 3 things that the platform embraces, which is #1, personalized discovery, authentic interactions, and entertaining creative, which can be found across every member's For You page. So on TikTok, and you've probably heard this before, it's not about having the most polished video or the highest, you know, production quality content, but it's about authenticity and entertainment, which really makes this platform very inviting, and a fun environment to be in. And that explains why people are spending like more than 2 hours per day on this platform. Cool. So yeah, like I said, all of that engagement, that buzz, and all that activity does translate into actual brand actions. You've probably heard of the, you know, TikTok made me buy it hashtag, which is sort of like testament to the fact that TikTok is driving this phenomenon where we're reshaping the way we discover new products and shop as well. So the TikTok made me buy it hashtag garners around more than 9 billion views, I believe, which is really, really powerful. And market research shows that 90% of our consumers claim to be satisfied with their shopping experience when TikTok is part of it. And TikTok also comes highly recommended as a source of discovery. Almost 53% of TikTokers say that they would recommend TikTok as a source of inspiration to a friend or colleague that's like, you know, shopping or looking for things to buy. And 83% of, you know, our users come to TikTok for reviews, which is 1.3 times more than our competitor platforms. So, you know, I hear this from my agencies all the time that people are using TikTok as a search engine. They're coming here to not just discover new brands, but also buy them. And this is especially true during the holidays. So on the next slide, you'll see that we really want to make sure that we're focusing on holiday planning, because holidays are fast approaching. We're already in Q4, time flew. So this is truly a place to celebrate these moments of togetherness and connection. Like I always say, TikTok is all about community. So we are here to make these moments truly special for our users. People are far more likely to turn to TikTok to plan and celebrate for holidays more than any other platform. And an overwhelming majority feel positively about holidays on TikTok. So as you can see on the screen here, TikTok inspires 1.2 times more activity across holiday planning and celebration than other platforms. And it's 1.4 times more, you know, like even after like post-holiday season, it's 1.4 times more active than traditional social media platforms. So with that said, definitely don't be afraid to start early when it comes to holiday planning and shopping. Your audiences are already on TikTok. They're already exploring different products. They're already engaging with brands. So getting into the groove ahead of your competitors means that you get a chance to tell more stories around the holidays, engage with more audiences, and really present your brand and product in a way that it makes it into your shopper's wish list. So TikTok can definitely help SMB brands and agencies showcase their products in ways that other platforms can't. So let's talk about how will you make the most of the holiday season. Just a quick question for people on the call here. When do you guys typically start holiday planning? Is it beginning of Q4? Is it like end of Q3? Or just like maybe a week before Christmas? Mm-hmm. Somebody in this chat said Q3. That's a pretty solid timeline. So that's what I always recommend as well. I think the opportunity here is to really think of the holidays holistically, rather than when you're in the thick of it, like just a week before the holidays. Yeah, somebody said June, July, which is also amazing, and I'm going to show you why in just a couple slides. But I really think that we need to zoom out and plan key moments in Q4 holistically. So if you're thinking of all of the different holidays and just like thinking which one makes the most sense for your brand, for your advertiser, and you build a holistic strategy, that's always going to outperform siloed campaigns. You would be able to manage your budgets and your planning a little bit better. And on the next slide is what I always recommend to my agencies that I work with. This seems really complicated, but let me break it down for you. Somebody said that they start planning beginning of Q4. People are already planning starting June, July, which is amazing and definitely what we recommend. So in this graph, you can see that during that September to the October period, like that blue graph that you're seeing there, that's when we want to start having building our always on strategy. So we want to start building our audiences early. This is when you're gathering all of those early learnings, you're testing new things, you're learning, and you're kind of trying to nail down which strategy works best for your brand. Following that, in October, this is when you want to drive momentum, and it can be seen in that purple graph there. So this is when you're driving momentum to an engaged audience and similar audiences. This is a great time to diversify your and also diversify your messaging among different audiences, and trying to see where I need to push more effort, which is my most lucrative segment. And then during the peak holiday season, which is November, December, this is the time to capitalize. This is the time to reap the rewards of all of the efforts that you've been putting in. So retarget those audiences that you've been building during the initial stages. Retarget them, because that's going to drive a higher ROAS for you, because conversion rates are better when you're retargeting. These people have already seen some of your messaging. They've already seen they've heard of your brand. They've seen some of your messaging, and they're more prepped and ready to convert. So when you're retargeting them, you're driving lower CPAs, hence higher ROAS. So yeah, definitely continue to build and seed as necessary. But something that a lot of advertisers miss out on is what we call Q5 internally. It is that post-holiday period. This is the time to use all learnings across audiences, across targeting, creative, format strategy, etc., to drive the maximum ROAS. People miss out on this time of the year because they think, oh, the holidays are over. But we're seeing that as lots of advertisers opt out of the platform, it's actually much cheaper to advertise during this time. And you would be surprised to learn that people are still in market to buy. So definitely don't pause your campaigns when Christmas ends. Keep it going through January and you will see the best efficiencies. Cool. Now, let's talk about our ad solutions and learn about how these ad solutions can help you elevate your holiday campaigns. So there are quite a few ad formats available on TikTok, but as like the first format to get started with, I recommend Spark ads, and this is what we will be zooming in on today. So Spark ads are this like super native ad format. This is something very, very typical and very, very like, close to TikTok. So Spark ads allows you to leverage your existing posts from your own organic TikTok account or organic posts made by other creators with their authorization, of course, and utilize these videos as paid ad creatives. With Spark ads, you can provide the same user interaction such as organic videos do. So this would include this would be able to provide you with a full native ad experience, making it easier for it to be accepted by others because it seems to come from this really neutral third-party source. So unlike non-Spark ads use posts from real TikTok accounts, which ensures that all video views, all comments, shares, basically any kind of engagement that the paid ad gathered would remain on that post even after you're done boosting that with some additional paid ad dollars, and all that engagement is attributed back to organic posts. So if you are a brand and you have your own branded TikTok, and if you're sparking some of your organic videos, all of the likes and comments that you gathered during that boosting period would remain on your organic TikTok, which is extremely powerful. On the next slide, we have this cool chart here. As a marketer, I'm sure you're very well versed with what the marketing funnel looks like. So let's chat through how to create ads that will break through on the platform. And the key is planning your advertising strategy, specifically thinking about your marketing end goal and then choosing the right objective that allows you to achieve that goal. So I'll be covering upper and mid-funnel solutions that are available to you and your clients for your holiday campaigns. And those include reach and frequency buying, interactive add-ons, and instant pages. So let's get started with that. The first one is reach and frequency. This is a campaign buying type within your TikTok Ads Manager that not only lets you control your audiences, but also the number of time they're exposed to your ad messaging. So within reach and frequency, you're able to lock in ahead of time the number of impressions you'll be driving, as well as lock in your CPMs. And you can actually book this campaign up to 225 days in advance and run up to 90 days. This is extremely powerful, especially when you're seeking large awareness generation campaigns, such as if you have a product launch or a big brand event or a promotion, or even for the holidays, like peak seasonal moments like the holidays. This is a great campaign type to consider. If you have a fixed marketing budget to reach TikTok users, or if you're looking to conduct a campaign, which would require really minimal monitoring and adjustment mid-flight, then reach and frequency would be ideal for you. And like I said, when you book in real time, you're also locking in your CPM, number of impressions, and you get basically a lot of control over how this campaign is going to be delivering. Cool. Yeah. So reach and frequency has two different kinds of placements. The first one is standard feed. Standard feed is when your ad is going to appear within the For You page, but we do have a premium placement called top feed. It lets you control where your ad appears in someone's TikTok feed. And when you enable top feed, you buy the first in-feed ad spot that appears in someone's feed when they open the app. Like I said, extremely powerful. You're hitting people very early in their user journey. This is the first ad that they're going to see in their For You feed, which makes it highly impactful Highly, like in terms of brand recall, very powerful there. So definitely would recommend Top Feed for, like seasonal moments, big launches, and things like that. On the next slide, I also have something else that falls under the reach and frequency umbrella, which we call Pulse. Pulse is another one of our high impact solutions. This allows your ad to show alongside top 4% of contextually aligned content on the platform in a very brand safe and brand suitable environment. And as you can see on the screen, there's a bunch of different categories within Pulse that you can choose from. So it ranges from beauty and personal care to cooking, baking, gaming, pets and animal Pulse. So lots of different categories to choose from. This video right here does a great job of pointing out the benefits and features. So let's play this video.
Trends and culture are created on TikTok. Cooking hacks, beauty tutorials, fashion trends, conversations discovering products no one ever thought they needed. Content and trends created by diverse communities on TikTok are shaping culture in the real world, every second, every minute, every day. Now imagine your brand can show up next to these moments, next to the top 4% of the most culturally relevant content on TikTok, right when it's taking shape and influencing culture, putting your brand right where everyone is looking and where all the conversation is happening. Third-party research shows this placement supercharges ad performance. So, are you ready to put your brand next to the pulse of culture?
Cool. I find that very, very cool. But let's move on to some other. Sorry about that. So let's talk a little bit about Instant Page. TikTok Instant Page is, again, another native solution. It's a lightweight native landing page within the app that loads 11 times faster than a standard mobile page. And, as a result, it streamlines the consumer's journey. So when it comes to driving users from an in-feed ad to a landing page, every second counts. If you have a slow or, interrupted loading experience, that could lead to high bounce rates and inefficient conversions. And you just lose out on, potential customers. But with an instant page, users can view videos, images, swipe through carousels, click on buttons and explore another destination, all without leaving the TikTok app. Instant pages are easy to build. They're highly customizable for your brand. So you can add your own imagery, your own videos. You can basically make it your own. And again, it's a very powerful tool that I have found to be really impactful for some of my agencies and their clients. Moving on, I want to dive a little bit deeper into our different interactive add-on formats. So in these next couple of slides, I'll be walking you through some of our interactive add-ons that can be used in your creatives for your campaign. So these are basically really cool, fun elements that you can slap on top of your existing ads to make them more engaging, to basically capture users' attention, and not just capture them, but also keep them engaged with your ads a little bit longer. We know people's attention spans are really short these days. So all of these little elements, they do leave a lasting impact on your brand performance. So the first one here on the screen is called Display Card. This is an interactive add-on product that lets you include cards with your in-feed video ads, so you can see that this can highlight important messages. It can share exclusive offers, like if you have a Black Friday, Cyber Monday offer, like a discount or something, you can definitely display that here. And the cool part here is that it's clickable and it drives traffic to your website or your app. So when people click on it, you can drive them over to any destination that you want. Once the display card appears in the ad, it will function as a call to action button as well. So not only does it display some of your messaging and that imagery, but it also drives traffic for you. The next one is Pop-Out Showcase. Pop-out showcase provides a way for your brands to like spotlight their products within a TikTok and allows users to engage with that spotlight too. So as you can see here, a pop-out element can illustrate like a specific product, like a phone or an item of clothing, depending on your client and whatever brand they want to kind of like promote. But pop-out elements are clickable. And when you click on the thing that the product that pops out, it can take you to a landing page. Again, kind of like garnering a lot of engagement, grabbing people's attention, and also in terms of recall, really, really powerful there because they actively and physically engaged with an element from the brand. Next up, we have gesture. So gesture is, again, like another interactive add-on product that helps you display your ads in a very in a new way, and that really deepens the interaction and the connection, with your customers. Because again, this is another way that you're physically interacting with your ads. So gesture invites users to tap or swipe on an ad to unveil a reward or more information. So this is like a very strong invitation for users to interact, since they do get a very quick payoff by physically engaging with the ad. So if they don't perform that gesture, the ad will continue to play, but if they do, they get a reward. Next up, we have Super Like. Super Like is an interactive add-on that lets you add an element of surprise to engage your people even further with it, when they like your ad. So with Super Like, a heart-shaped custom icon appears and floats across the screen when someone likes or double taps, really providing that instant gratification to users that like your ad. And then finally, we have Story Selection on the next slide. Story Selection is a new interactive add-on that provides that lets your users interact with and engage with your brand even after they're done watching the first ad. So as you can see on the screen, it helps your customer to further engage because they get the option to choose between 2 more videos. So you're keeping your users there a little bit longer and basically having them watch 3 ads in the price of 1. Which is amazing. So all of these interactive add-ons are, some of these would live within your TikTok Ads Manager, and some of these would require unlocking by your account manager. So if you do have an account manager, they're able to whitelist you for some of these features, which are really, really powerful, especially during the holiday season when there's so many ads and so many competitors out there. You do really need something to break through the clutter, to grab people's attention, and to engage with your users. So I don't know if you're aware of TikTok Creative Center, but you can definitely visit the TikTok Creative Center website. There are mockups there that you can explore. There's so much information on Creative Center. So if you haven't already, do check it out. It's where some of these interactive add-ons live, and you can experience them in real time. Cool. Let's talk a little bit about some of our lower funnel ad solutions. We talked about upper funnel with reach and frequency, mid funnel with instant pages, and then when it comes to really driving those conversions and driving that shopping side of things, this is where TikTok Shop comes in, and this is especially relevant when we're thinking of the holidays, which are typically really big when it comes to e-com clients. So if you're looking to go all in with TikTok for business e-commerce, then this lower funnel solution, including TikTok Shop, is going to be the key for your agency and for your clients. So let's dive right in. TikTok Shop is an innovative new shopping feature that enables merchants, brands, as well as creators to showcase and sell their products directly on TikTok. So let's take a look at the frictionless shopping journey from browsing to add to cart in the video on the next slide. Oops. It's taking a minute to load. There's a TikTok made me buy it hashtag. All right, so a little bit of a bump there, but you just saw how TikTok Shop creates like a seamless and native way to encourage users to browse and buy with shopping ads. You're probably wondering, how does this whole setup work? And that's a question that we receive a lot from advertisers as well. So the content on everyone's For You page is highly diverse and personalized, with a combination of organic content and paid media content, showing like a continuous stream of content tailored to that particular user's interests. Our recommendation engine helps users to discover content that they are more likely to watch, engage with, and share that highly resonates with them. So this personalized approach helps users discover new videos, creators, and products from TikTok Shop sellers that align with their preferences. So as we know that the algorithm has a bunch of signals based on how we interact with different brands on TikTok, what our likes and what our interests are. So using those, that really personalized approach, we're able to deliver TikTok Shop videos and ads to our users. So with this fantastic combination, TikTok guarantees a constant flow of fresh and varied content to keep users entertained, to keep them discovering new products, unlike ever before. So let's take a look at two of the shoppable units that we have available currently on TikTok Shop. The first one is going to be video shopping ads. So video shopping ad is a solution that works great for capturing leads and driving revenue during your clients' biggest brand moments and sale periods this holiday. The way that this works is that when people on TikTok see your video shopping ad, they can browse products on TikTok Shop by simply tapping the product card or any other anchor link, and then they buy it in your store on TikTok. They never really leave the platform. The entire purchase journey is within the app, which means no signal loss, which also means very high ROAS. So not only do video shopping ads users receive personalized recommendations based on their interactions, but advertisers, just your clients, will also be able to leverage exclusive features within VSA, such as creative automation and dynamic product landing pages, optimize delivery strategies, as well as additional attribution. So if a user started their journey on TikTok Shop, but purchased on your website or your app, it all began with your video shopping ad. So you do have that enhanced visibility into what that process looked like. The other option that we have within TikTok Shop is called live video shopping ad. These are shoppable videos across your For You page and the following feed. Live shopping ads help sellers amplify their product discovery, their viewership, their purchase intent, and transactions within that live shopping ad universe. So TikTok Live has reshaped the way that we connect with our favorite creators and artists and businesses in real time. A recent study performed shows us that TikTok stands apart from other live streaming platforms for brands, with TikTok users being more interested in live content from brands or sponsors than live stream videos that don't use TikTok. So like I mentioned at the top of the call, TikTok users are highly engaged. They're spending a lot of time. But this research shows that they're also highly, like they have high intent to shop, which is why they're so interested in live shopping, because it gives them a chance to interact directly with the brands and businesses that they love. So with all of that said, I hope that now you have a better understanding of TikTok Shop and some of our new shoppable ads available. So let's take a look at one way that you can very quickly and very easily optimize your holiday campaigns here at TikTok with a push of a button. So, but before I dive into the optimization side, any questions, anything top of mind that you would like to bring up? Cool. All right. So let's dive into optimization. On the next slide, let's talk about VBO, or value-based optimization. Yeah. So like, throughout the year, we do different kinds of campaigns, but Q4 is really, really big for a lot of e-com clients. So for this upcoming holiday season, we don't want to sort of like keep repeating the same campaign, optimizations, tactics, and, bidding strategies that we've been doing. We really want to step things up a little bit during the holidays for those enhanced results. So don't settle for using the same old bidding strategies that you've been using. Definitely try value-based optimization, or VBO, to ensure that you're seeing a higher ROAS during the holiday season. With VBO enabled as your bidding strategy, our system will not only look for users that are more likely to make a purchase action, but also look for people that are going to make a higher value purchase, either by buying, multiple products or a large number of products in one go, or buying products with a higher price point, thereby driving higher revenue for your brand. So VBO is perfect for the holiday season because we know that 68% of users are starting their shopping at least a few weeks before the peak holiday season. So we definitely want to hit these high intent audiences who are either in the market to buy multiple items, or they're buying higher ticket items. So we want to reach them before our competitors do. And the best way to do that is through VBO. So let's take a quick look at two of the bidding strategies that we have available within VBO. Cool. So the first one is highest value. This is when the TikTok ad system aims to spend all of your budget and bid for the highest possible purchase value out there. The other one is minimum ROAS. This is when the ad system tries to meet your target ROAS bid that you've set. This definitely gives you more control over your purchase amount and ROAS. So I always recommend, I always tell my agencies to start off with highest value first and get a sense of their baseline ROAS on TikTok. We know that TikTok is very different from other platforms out there. So a ROAS that you're driving on, let's say, on another platform might not be applicable here. You need to find your baseline ROAS on TikTok. And then once you have a good sense of what that number is, test minimum ROAS with that baseline ROAS as an indicator of where you want to be in terms of efficiency. Because if your minimum ROAS is set too high, your ad delivery and budget consumption will be limited. So we really want to make sure that we have a good sense of what that ROAS is for us on TikTok during the holidays. With that said, let's move on to creative best practices. We know that the biggest determinant of success on TikTok is creative, which unfortunately can also be a bit of a blocker for many clients when it comes to scaling their campaigns. So to cap off selling TikTok, we want to make sure that we are giving you some quick tips, some inspiration, and some creative codes to get started with your holiday success. Yeah, so on the next slide, we have some very interesting creative codes. The first one is TikTok first. You have probably heard of this, but being TikTok first and having that TikTok first mentality means that the creative that you're creating is very native to the platform. You're not repurposing content from other platforms onto TikTok because that is definitely not the best practice. So definitely make sure that the creative that you're creating for your clients has that native TikTok feel. It's entertaining, it's authentic, and it's made with TikTok in mind. The next tip is structure. So structure definitely drives effectiveness. We know that starting a video off with a strong hook, then having, the body, like the body should be the main message that you're trying to convey, and finally ending with a strong CTA. Excuse me. And then stimulation, how to grab a user's attention with stimulation. And this could be things like transitions in music. As users on the platform, you've definitely seen a lot of, TikToks that do drive your attention. So I'm going to take a quick break here and open the floor and ask you if you remember any cool videos that grabbed your attention. Cool. Somebody said washing your Bentley. That's funny. Anyway, yeah. So think of yourself, put yourself in the user's shoes, and think what would you like to consume as a user, and really go into that with that mindset. The fourth tip we have here is sound. Like I said, TikTok is a sound on environment. So keep an eye on all of those, excuse me, trending sounds. And speaking of trends, make sure that you're applying trends that are, doing really well on TikTok. And if they make sense for your brands, do apply them to your video. And finally, production. So when it comes to production, think of, sorry about that, the vertical format. Alrighty. Sorry. Cool. So here we talk about inspiring creativity, especially when it comes to the holiday season. Hashtag haul, hashtag gift ideas. These are trending on TikTok. So again, I bring it back to Creative Center. I mentioned TikTok Creative Center. So definitely check it out. It has so much information on trends, so much information on hashtags. So do check it out and see what's trending for your industry and your style of content. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. On the next slide, we have show, don't tell. So definitely on TikTok, we don't want to be talking a lot. We want to be showing. And this ties back to that point that I said, we want to make TikToks, not ads. So make sure that your content is entertaining. Make sure that it's grabbing their attention. And also ask yourself, how will your brand be part of your audience's holiday festivities if they choose to include you in their holidays? What is it, what's it going to feel like for someone to receive this as a gift? So really think outside of the box, think more creatively about what you're showing them. On the next slide, we have community curated gift lists. So make sure that your brand advocates, that your biggest brand advocates, which exist within those communities on TikTok, that you are engaging with them and that you're leveraging some of their content through Spark ads. So explore different brand communities on TikTok, see which one fits with your brand, and then really don't hesitate to collaborate with these creators and spark their ads, because like I said, Spark ads are a powerful, powerful native ad tool for TikTok. And then on the next slide, we have some other examples that we can use to inspire our audiences. And when I work with my agencies, you know, we work on different narratives, different ideations, different strategies of which of these would work best for our clients. So when it comes to creatives, you can definitely show, you know, tell your brand's story, tell where your brand is coming from, your journey. You can show your products. People love to see what products you have, how you create them. You can show results, like those before and after videos. They sure have me hooked for hours. So they do really well for brands, and also behind the scenes, because this does give that really authentic, very real look into what the brand stands for and what their story is, and, you know, what it really means to be associated with the brand. When you work with your account manager, once you start on TikTok, they'll be able to walk you through all of this and a lot more. There's so much more. It was really hard to fit all that information into one webinar here. So on the next slide, I have a QR code for you. You know, whenever you're ready to take the next step in your TikTok advertiser journey, you know, just connect with a TikTok ad specialist by scanning this QR code seen here. You will get one-on-one support through the process of launching your very first ad campaign. And, you know, we do a lot of, we love to strategize with our advertisers. We love it when they find success. We love to share your stories as case studies on our TikTok for Business page. And over the years, I've developed some really strong relationships with my brands, and I am so excited for you guys to start yours. So definitely the first step here would be to scan this QR code and get your very own advertising specialist, who will help you get onboarded, who will help you get well acquainted with best practices, who will help you set up your campaigns, and then, you know, just take it from there. That is everything I had for you guys today. Thank you so much for having me. Let me know if there's any questions or anything that I can clarify for you.
Hi, thanks so much. I've got a quick question. Really appreciate this. It was very informative.
Thank you.
Kind of new to TikTok advertising, and really helped put a top level view on everything. So we work with a lot of major shoe brands, but we work with like the work division of them. So it's kind of like the stepchild, we would say. So we don't get like the super big budgets that the major brands get. So like, let's say, for example, you know, Reebok is one that we work with. And I just went to their page, you know, while we were going through this meeting, and it looks like, you know, they're using, you know, major celebrities, and it seems like that's the ones that are actually getting more of the views. I mean, is that like, do you think, I mean, do you need an influencer to really make this happen? Or, I mean, somebody with a smaller budget that, you know, can't get Cardi B to push their products, what would you recommend for that?
So I do work with a lot of SMBs, and I do understand that they have limited budgets. While there is definitely benefit in getting a celebrity like Cardi B or somebody, you know, that's super well known to represent your brand, I'm not going to underplay that. But a lot of SMBs have found a lot of success working with just like regular creators, regular folks like you and me on TikTok. There is nothing to suggest that this wouldn't work, because, you know, like I said, TikTok promotes authenticity. Our users love to see real people, and recommendations and testimonials from regular folk like you and me are much more powerful when it comes to word of mouth than big celebrities telling you, hey, you know, like, I use this product, buy it. That is definitely, it does give you a lot of reach, lots of impressions. But when it comes to actually influencing, I personally would love to see somebody that looks like me, that has the same lifestyle as me, telling me, hey, I use this product. It worked amazingly for me. There's a 50% off sale on it. Go buy it right now. For my advertisers, I have seen great success just working with regular creators, sparking their ads. And these creators are people on the platform that are already advocates for your brand. So even if you have smaller budget, there is nothing stopping you from being really successful on TikTok. I have agencies that have brands that are really small brands that went viral on TikTok with they didn't have millions of dollars in advertising budget, but they did really well on TikTok by being creative, by being entertaining, and by being authentic.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Antonio mentioned in the chat, we have TikTok Creator Marketplace, which is where you can get in touch with different kinds of creators that match your brand's voice, your brand's image. So definitely check out TikTok Creator Marketplace. There's different filters there. So you can filter for country, number of followers, the industry that they're in, the kind of following that they have, and try to find the best creator that would match your needs. You can collaborate with them. You can work closely together to create content that would resonate with your audiences while being true to your brand as well. So there's so much you can do even with a small budget on TikTok.
A question for me, is that something that agencies are typically supporting their brands with? So are agencies helping them curate what the list of, content creators that they can work with? Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, definitely. In my personal experience, I'm walking my agencies through, that process, and in turn, they're doing the same for their brands. A lot of times, agencies, I would say typically they take charge of that entire process, but sometimes some advertisers are very, very engaged. They want to be part of the process too, so they can definitely participate in like collaborating with creators. But I think that would really depend on the agency's relationship with their client.
Okay, nice. Because just interesting from my perspective, I have a few agencies. I had one agency, a performance marketing agency in LA, and they started just by offering TikTok services, so creating the content and running the ads and managing the ads. And then they actually created basically another vertical within their agency, which was purely UGC content and sourcing content creators and managing content creators. And that then became basically an additional revenue stream.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much that goes into UGC content that is difficult for a brand to manage unless they have a team in-house.
Definitely. I'm seeing that too. A lot of agencies have a separate wing that manages influencer content. That's definitely true. And then I think the benefit, there's definitely a lift when it comes to developing UGC content, especially for agencies that haven't done that before. But the benefits do outweigh the additional effort that you're driving, because content that does well on TikTok will also do well on other platforms,
right.
like on Meta, on Facebook, Instagram, Snap. You see things like Reels, which are basically TikToks from 2 weeks ago. So the flow of content can be from TikTok and it can trickle down to other platforms, but it doesn't necessarily, move the other way. So if you do have to kind of like learn this UGC style of content, and if that does take up some of your time, just know that the benefits will outweigh the costs, because you're able to repurpose TikTok content on other platforms as well. So there's definitely benefit in developing content that looks very native to TikTok.
Nice. And one final question from me. Are you seeing agencies having more success having TikTok added on to their services, or agencies that just go all in on TikTok?
I would say that I do have some agencies that are TikTok only, and that they only do TikTok. They're experts in TikTok style of advertising. They're doing really, really well for their advertisers. But also I do have on my roster, in my book, lots of agencies that have seen a lot of success by adding TikTok to their overall media mix. So we always say that adding TikTok to your existing media mix is going to enhance your overall advertising efficiency. So you're going to see a lift across other platforms as well when you start advertising on TikTok. And the biggest reason for that is because you're reaching unduplicated audiences on TikTok. So if you're driving additional dollars and investing on TikTok ads, you're not showing the same content to the same audiences that you're already reaching through other platforms. In fact, this is like net new audiences that you're reaching. So the messaging has to be a little bit tailored. The numbers are going to be a little bit different. The capabilities of the platform are a little bit different. But overall, you're increasing the size of your pie. And because TikTok is a little bit cheaper than other platforms, our CPMs are really, really strong, you're going to see better efficiencies overall, across your entire paid media.
Nice. Okay, well, this was excellent. This is a really good deep dive from an agency perspective. So you'll send me the slides afterwards, and I'll upload the recording then so I can share with my wider network. It says private and confidential on the presentation, but it won't be that private and confidential because we recorded it.
I think we went through, the approval process, and these slides should be good to share.
Perfect. Okay, excellent.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I hope I was able to clarify some of your questions. You are welcome to add me on LinkedIn. I would love to connect. Feel free to, send me any questions that you have. That's QR code that we shared. That's going to connect you with your own advertising expert. So don't hesitate to get started. Holidays are really, really big on TikTok, and I am so excited to see what you guys do with TikTok.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.
Thank you. Thanks, Rachel, for hosting.
My pleasure.